Welcome back, guys. So on today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace your front turn signals on your 2015 through 2017 S550 Mustangs. This is going to cover replacing the entire unit, not just the bulb or anything. Nothing really wrong with these, it's just clear. I kind of want to go with something different. So I'm going with some kind of blacked out units from Raxiom. It's more of their Axial series, same as what I've got kind of on the rear of the car, with the side markers and those rear diffuser lights, if you guys have watched those videos. So it's supposed to be just a completely plug and play unit. Looking at the back of it, there's no loose wires, everything is plugged, so I kind of figure it probably will be plug and play. The only thing different is there's that little plug right there, and I noticed that there's, I think these are ballasts or something. I'm guessing since they're LED, these are actually more of like a resistor type deal, so that way they don't flash too fast like you'll sometimes get with LED turn signals. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. I've seen some people say that you can do it without removing the bumper. I think I'm just going to go ahead and remove the bumper. That way you guys can get a clear view of everything. It's going to be pretty hard for me to actually video anything for you guys. If I'm just trying to reach up behind there and do everything, you're not really going to be able to see much. So we're going to go ahead and remove the bumper and we'll get started on this. So you guys' car may or may not be missing parts like mine is. If yours is completely factory, you'll have a kind of shield over the top of your radiator that'll have to come off first. Mine is missing that. Whoever installed the supercharger, I'm guessing when they put all the stuff in, they didn't bother putting the cover back on. But you're going to have 6 8mm bolts across the top of here once you get that guard off that are going to be holding on the top of your bumper. So go ahead and take those off. Next, underneath these little rubber flaps here, you've got a 7mm little screw in there. Same thing on the other side. So go ahead and pull both of those out. Next, you guys will probably also have a splash guard underneath your bumper. You'll have to pull that off. It's a bunch of plastic tabs that hold that on there. So go ahead and pull that off. Mine is missing. That's another thing I need to replace on this car, but it is missing on mine. So more than likely you guys will have that though, and you'll need to pull that off. Next, on either inner fender, you're going to have plastic push pins on the inside of here. Those are going to have to come off, so you can pull that back, and then there's going to be a bolt up in there that is going to have to come unscrewed to get the bumper off. I like to kind of turn my wheel all the way to the right or all the way to the left, depending on which side I'm at. That way I can actually reach in there and get to those. Depending on if your car is lowered or not like mine, you may have more access than me, but that's just kind of how I do it. So there's one screw out. It's just a 7mm bolt that holds it in way up there. I was able to use a little 1/4-inch ratchet with a shallow socket and get it started unloose, and then was able to just use my fingers to twist it out the rest of the way with just using the socket. Depending on how frustrating it is for you, you may want to just go ahead and pull your entire wheel off, and that way you can get this pulled back more and get more access to it. Because I'm not even gonna lie, it is a pain to get those things out. Now once you got the bumper freed up on either side, you should be able to just grab it right here in the front. Might be a little difficult to do with one hand, but there's these kind of pins that come up through the holes beside where those 8mm bolts were. So you kind of just got to pull it up over that, and then the whole thing is just going to come off. And you're not going to be able to get it all the way off because your plugs for your fog lights and your turn signals are still behind there, but you can drop it down enough where you can reach in behind there and unplug those plugs. Now we got the bumper off the car, so we can kind of get you guys a good look at what's fully going on back here. So to get this turn signal out, looks like we're gonna have to take out these bolts here, probably those 3. And I think the fog light, yeah, this fog light bezel is gonna have to come off too because it's kind of attached to there. So we'll take all those bolts out. So to get that bezel off for the turn signal and the fog lights, I had to take out 13 of these 7mm screws, and then 2 of these 7mm screws. And those, the 2 that are different, just go into these metal clips here that they screw into on the side. The rest of these are all the same length, same size and everything, so you don't really have to worry about mixing any up. Just take a note that these 2 go on that outer edge. So now that we've got all those out, you'd think that the thing would come out, but no, they're really wanting this thing to stay in here. So there's plastic tabs. It looks like there's 4 of them. We got 3 along here on the bottom and then 1 here on the side. So I believe if you push in on those, this whole shroud will come off and we can finally get access to that turn signal light. All right, so we do have the assembly out now. This is all just kind of freely floating in there. Turn signal comes right out of there. And that's basically how you have to get that out. Now we just need to repeat the process on the passenger side and we'll be good to put the new ones in. You guys can kind of see here a side-by-side comparison of the old turn signal and the new one. Same shape and everything, but main difference with this aftermarket turn signal is it's LED, so obviously it doesn't have that screw-in bulb. You just got plug-ins. You'll have one for the white LED and then one for the orange. And then like I was saying, that third smaller plug there is going to be where that I'm guessing is a resistor is going to plug into. When you go to put these new lights in, you guys can do it however you want. I went ahead and mounted the light into this main shroud just with those 3 7mm bolts you can see there. Went ahead and got it started, that way it's all nice and positioned, and that way when I go ahead and put it back in place, I'm not going to have to fight and try to get it all lined up once I'm already getting the shroud reattached to the bumper. Aside from that though, you're just going to put this right back in exactly how you took it out. So for this resistor, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, I went ahead and plugged it in to the harness here, just to kind of see where I could put it without taking away any slack from this main plug right here. I'm going to go ahead and put mine on the back side of the bumper here. I went ahead and wiped it down with some isopropyl alcohol, that way it'll get a nice good stick. And then I'm just going to go ahead and peel off this backing paper and slap it right on there. So that's how my final setup looks. I got all my screws and everything back in and tightened. Definitely don't over tighten them. Remember, you are screwing into plastic, but make sure you get all those screws back in there. Get these push clip tab things in there. Get everything all nice and buttoned back up, and then go ahead and move on to the next side. So now that we've got everything wrapped up, I went ahead and just kind of hung the bumper in place, got all the plugs placed back, and then I would recommend for you guys fully commit to getting the bumper fully put back on. Go ahead and hop in the car, turn your lights on, go ahead and function test everything, because it's going to suck if you get everything put in, get the bumper back on, and then it doesn't work and you have to take it back off for some reason. Everything seems to be working really good, so I'd say it was a success. From now, it's just kind of reversing. Same thing you did to get the bumper off. Go ahead and clip in both sides of the bumper, throw those little 7mm screws back in, put all your screws back in here on the top, your lower splash shield, upper guard if you got it, and we can call it a wrap. All in all, I think they look great, and I'd say it was a fairly simple install. Yeah, you got to kind of take apart some nuts and bolts and everything, but no wire splicing or anything at least, which is nice. So I'd definitely buy them again, guys. If you guys got any questions or comments or anything about it, go ahead and drop it below and let me know. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Got lots more coming.